I went over my presentation like 5 times and I changed it, so just bear with me. I'm not quite sure what's going to come out tonight. I'm just going to speak from my heart. And forgive me if I get emotional. I've had 2 losses this month of personal friends, so this really touches my heart. And I think it's why I continue to do the work that I do. So just bear with me. I definitely feel that the work I do is a light in the darkness for others. I am their beacon of light through what I do, and that is my purpose. I feel it's very rewarding to do what I do, and when I give, I receive. And I feel like many of you can understand what I'm saying when I say that. When I work with youth and young adults, I feel like I learn so much more from them than what I'm giving them. So for me, that feeds my soul. So I have a story or 2 that I want to share briefly. I work with a young woman who may ring our doorbell every 6 months or so, and she's been with us most of her child and adolescent life, and now she's a young woman starting her own family. And every 6 months, that doorbell will ring. And I open the door, no questions asked. You know, she's no longer our client. But whatever she needs, whatever, wherever she's at, we're going to meet her where she's at. And I think that's so important in the work that we do and in our community. And I just want to encourage you all that, when someone comes to you and you ask them how they're doing, I hope that you take a moment to pause. Because oftentimes we pass someone and just say, oh, hey, how you doing? But you really don't want to hear anything but fine. And we're all not always doing fine. So just, sometimes the best thing that you can do for someone is just be with them, listen to them, and be present. So I just wanted to ask that. The other story I wanted to briefly share is the loss that I had this week. Somebody struggling with mental illness and a history of substance use and trauma. And even though, there were services and everything else offered and, lack of family support and things like that, the one thing that they always came back to on this roller coaster that they were on for life was their faith. They always came back to their faith. And I just thought of that tonight. And so somebody reminded me tonight that even though I lost this person, now I have another guardian angel. And they're watching over me now. I watched over them a long time, and now they're going to watch over me and help me help others. So I just wanted to share that. I wanted to also share that we offer a free training on island, many free trainings, but one in particular, where we actually train youth to be peer mentors. It's called Sources of Strength. And when I looked at Rami's wheel, Circle of Power, it's very similar to Sources of Strength, which is amazing. Sources of Strength is an upstream suicide prevention model that we teach for free. I was certified, and basically we work with youth and young adults and adults in our community to train them to become advocates and supports for others. And what's interesting is we actually train the youth that are isolated and the outliers in school, the ones that might not be popular and might not have a lot of friends. We actually focus on training them because it empowers them to become leaders. And they learn that, hey, I have something I can contribute, I can give, and I can help other people. So it actually turns around and we use it as a strength. So I wanted to share that. If anyone's interested, we do have a resource table with all of these offerings, so I'm not going to share all the resources tonight, but please make sure you stop by the resource table and pick up something for yourself, for a friend, for a family member, or just for your community. I also wanted to share a little bit about Prevent Suicide Kauai Task Force. I'm proud to say that Kauai is actually the first task force formed. So we're ahead of the bigger islands, just a little bit. And I also wanted to share a statistic that we have actually had a decrease in suicidal attempts in Hawaii. We might be small, but we are mighty. And I grew up on the mainland. I actually grew up in Atlanta. I'm probably getting a little tired, so my southern accent's coming out. Sorry about that. So I grew up in a big city in Atlanta. I lived in New York, lived in Philadelphia. I was a therapist. I worked in the courts. I was a professor. I've always worked on, trying to empower and help other people. And something I noticed when I moved to Kauai 8 years ago is that, wow, this community is really amazing. It's not competitive like the mainland, it's collaborative. And that's something I love about our community, and I think that's why we're so successful and ahead of the curve. We're doing things here that other islands aren't doing, and we're the model, we're the trendsetter. So just keep that good work up. I also want to talk about, Rami had said, what's something that's impactful that you can share about your work? And I think the thing I'm most proud of is that at Hale Opio, we service youth and young adults past the age of 18. We don't stop at 18 and drop them into the adult system. We actually service them up to, their 27th birthday in some of our programs and beyond. We support them through college, with employment, and there's only a staff of 6 of us in my department, and we have 20 programs. And they're all free to families, believe it or not. So check us out, www.haleopio.org. Something I want to say and share with you all is, I want you to repeat this with me: hope, help, and healing. That is the premise of the Suicide Task Force, that we can instill that in our community and make it a stronger community. So please join us. It's a monthly meeting, the last Wednesday of every month, and you can join, volunteer, and be a force in our community. I also just wanted to remind you that you are not alone, and together we can make a difference. So just turn to the person next to you and just say, "You matter." Continue to nurture each other, take care of each other, love one another, and don't forget your faith. Thank you so much.